One of the best anecdotes about Twin Peaks is I get a call from Paul McCartney's office saying, Angelo, Paul would love for you to come out and work with him at the Abbey Road studios. He'd like you to do some writing for some project he's working on. There's going to be an orchestra, but he wants your Twin Peaks sound and your input into something that he's wants to record. Get on the Concorde, go out, go to Abbey Road, I meet with Paul, the engineer's in the room, me, Paul, and the engineer, orchestra outside. I had the music written. I'm rehearsing the orchestra. He comes over to me on the stand. He says, Angelo, it's great. Stop the orchestra. I want to tell you what happened. He says, I was invited by the Queen to perform 30 minutes of my music to help celebrate her birthday at Buckingham Palace. And now I'm ready to go on. I have my band on stage. And as I'm just about to go on, the Queen comes by me and says, Mr. McCartney, it was just so lovely to see you tonight. Well, thank you, Highness. I'm so thrilled to be able to perform for you tonight to help celebrate your birthday. Oh, Mr. McCartney, I can't stay. Oh, no, Your Highness, I can't stay. Don't you see, Mr. McCartney? She looked at her watch. It's 5 minutes to 8. I must go upstairs and watch Twin Peaks. Paul turned around and gave me a punch on this arm. I'm still black and blue. That's a true story. It was 1986, or the end of 85 into 86, somewhere about then. I received a phone call at home for a good friend of mine, Peter Runfellow. Peter was on the phone. He said, Angelo, can you come out tomorrow to Wilmington and work with Isabella Rossellini to help her to sing the title song, Blue Velvet, because David's having some trouble with her singing it. He's not happy with it, and she's not happy with the people that she's working with. So I meet with Isabella, and we're in a room together with a piano, put a little cassette on the top of the piano, and we start working on the song, Blue Velvet. And we record it. After a couple of hours, we get a really nice take. And David doesn't say much. He puts his earphones on and listens to this recording I just did with Isabella singing. Takes it off, and he says, this is peachy keen. That's the ticket. Now, the most important instrumental, certainly, in Twin Peaks, was the Laura Palmer theme. You know, now we had established something because I did the score for Blue Velvet. David came up to the office one day. He says, Angelo, I'm going to do this show, a television show. He hadn't done anything yet. He just knew he was going to do a show, and he just described a mood. So I started out with a very dark thing that everybody knows, the dee-dom, dee-do, dee-do, very slow. And, okay, Angelo, that's it. I kept playing that. Played slower. He always wanted it even slower, which I did. It was in C minor. And then he said, okay, now the girl is in the back. Now start, getting into this beautiful, young, lonely teenage girl. And from minor, I went into major. And I started with the theme, ding, dong, dong, ding, right? And very slow and building. That's it, let it build, Angelo, that's it. She's coming closer to the camera, she's coming closer. Oh, look at the tears, she's beautiful, Angelo. Now, reach a climax, just tear people's heart out. Wow, that's beautiful, that's it. Now, come down, and come down slowly. Come down ever so slowly. Let it fall. He loves falling. Dave loves falling. I don't know what about. Let that melody fall. And I went down just diatonically, right down, very, very slow. That's it. Now go back into the dark woods, because she's now out of frame. And back to the dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Played it, boom. Turned around to David to get some tears in his eyes. Came up, gave me a big hug. He said, Angelo, this is what I'm going to shoot. That's the music of Twin Peaks. You've captured it. I said, I'll go home and work on it, Dave. He said, don't touch a note. I never did.
Don't! Just don't! I love you, James!
Almost everything in Twin Peaks was based on his coming to my office. He would talk. I was able to capture all these themes, which was all based on his talking to me, and which is an incredible way to work. And with David on every project that we've done, and I don't have to tell you how many we've done together in 31 years, it's been where he has talked to me, and in most cases, didn't even read a script, didn't have to. I didn't have to see anything. I just talk to me, and then we would hear the music, and he would know where it fits and belongs. It just worked out. It was a dream. It was an unbelievable, collaboration. We did talk about what's going to be some of the difference in music and musical styles and genre for Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. We started getting into this like kind of cool jazz thing going, but then also be able to use a lot of abstractness within that jazz, a lot of dissonance and weird bowing on the bass and some unusual things. I mean, the main title was just this rhythm section, this piano, bass, drums, guitar, and it's the only time I used a muted trumpet. But then in the middle part, and I don't know if people even realized it, it became very dark. But it segued in such a way, it's got dark chords, but it still felt cool, but melodically, I'm planting a seed and saying, hey, it's going to be cool, but watch out. So that opening title was important because it did set a little bit of a jazz feel and melodic, but then using the instrumentation was great. Using the sound of the vibraphone and special guitars, and of course the synth, and a bass, a stand-up bass as opposed to an electric bass, so that the bass player could do some very special picking and special abstract kind of bowing and dissonant and eerie, and you can do all kinds of things with that cool. So there was a lot of that in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And I had some wonderful musicians that played on it. I mean, there was Vinnie Bell, the guitarist. There was Jay Haworth, who was the vibraphonist, who, by the way, was the son-in-law of Mayor David Dinkins. But he was a wonderful vibraphonist. There was Grady Tate on drums, who just played on everything of Twin Peaks. And Grady was the very, very best, especially with snare drum. On bass, there was Ron Carter, the legendary Ron Carter. Ron Carter and I went to Eastman School of Music at the same time. So Ryan and I became friends, and we enjoyed playing pool, pocket billiards. And in the lounge at Eastman School, they had a pool table. And Ron and I said, hey man, let's not go to that harmony class today. Let's play some pool, okay. A day later I'd call, hey Ron, that composition class we're supposed to have this afternoon? Let's go play some pool. Okay, man. So we cut all these classes of music, right? The bottom line was we cut all these classes of music, and so now Ron comes in all those years later, the Jimmy Scott session. I said, Ron, hey man, do you realize that you would have been a very successful person had you not cut those classes? I just kept asking David, write lyrics. We're going to do an album for Julie. And that was so important because a lot of the Julie songs are all over Twin Peaks, and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is Questions in a World of Blue, which is one of the most beautiful songs, as well. and we did this wonderful album. Kenny Landrum was all of Twin Peaks, was the #1 synthesist. And Kenny had sounds that nobody else had on the synth because he was doing a ton of commercials because he had all these samples on the synth, which are now everybody and his brother has in their bedroom, And he had a sound, and we owe a lot to Kenny for this. He had a sound that we needed for the first 3 notes of the main title theme. Dang, 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 right? Mm-hmm. That's the sound that, if a man or a husband or a wife are doing dishes together in the sink, if they heard dang, 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 okay, boom, go to the television. You didn't have to hear more than those first 3 notes. The identity of that sound, what is it? Okay, you know the 3 notes, but it's what Kenny basically created together with the guitarist Vinnie Bell on an electric guitar. It was a combination of those sounds. And then of course Kenny, played and just played so beautifully and smooth and everything else on almost everything there, synth-wise. David and I had written this song called Sycamore Trees, which is not an easy song to sing. It's got a little jazzy flavor, it's got a little bluesy flavor, it's very spacey, and it has to be interpreted, and it's a little strange, And Warner Brothers had said, hey, we have a little Jimmy Scott on, and David and I say, get him up. Getting him up to our office, and maybe Angelo will play Sycamore Trees for him, and hopefully he'll like it to record it. Sure enough, a little Jimmy Scott came up with his wife. Very delicate man, very gentle. And then I sat down and I played Sycamore Trees, and he said, I can do that. I can do that. And Jimmy Scott, sang live and just nailed it. I mean, the interpretation, I don't have to tell you, it's truly a masterpiece, what he did vocally. He's the best interpreter of all.
Love you, babe.
Like the night my girl went away, gone off in a world filled with stuff. Lights start changing and there's wires in the air and the asphalt, man, all around me. And I look down and my shoes are so far away from me. Man, I can't believe it. I got a real indication of a laugh coming on.
So we're laying down this track, didn't know exactly what we're gonna do with the track, using an instrumental. David gets the idea and he writes a long list of words. I got a real indication of a laugh coming on. And he just writes it all down, and I'm in the studio after they did the track. I said, David, hey, I can probably go on a microphone out there and do a vocal, not song, but almost, a 25-year-old kind of rappy thing, and let's see what I get. Oh, want to, Angelo? Yeah, go ahead. The bottom line is he's in the booth with the engineer. I'm at the microphone, and I have the lyric there, and I just get into this thing. And I'm just letting it go, whatever, and I'm screaming and yell, I got a real indication, a laugh coming on. And David's hearing all of this, and I could see him, he's much more than a smile. He's starting to laugh, and I'm getting into it, and the more he's laughing, the more I just go more outrageous. I'm just having a ball with this thing, never knowing if anything's ever gonna be used in that. And the bottom line is, he laughed so hard, that he got a hernia. This is a fact. He got a hernia, and he had to go to the hospital that night, and that was a laugh coming on. It's a true story. We were on the 12th floor. I had a corner office, and the wind would be coming through, and it would be a sound, and David loves sound. But anyway, in the office, he heard this sound. Wow, this is great. You have the microphone. let's record, and you just go over here with a microphone and just say the black dog runs at night. Okay, that's all I say, David? Yeah, the black dog runs at night. Okay, now say it lower. The black dog runs at night. That's it. Lower, slow. The black dog runs at night. The black dog runs at night. And that was the whole thing. I had no idea what the hell I'm doing, but he knew, and tied together with the wind and that sound, for him that worked. The Voice of Love is just incredible. When David was describing to me, this is the end of her life, right? Right up to the day before. So, he told me there's going to be a picture on the wall, and Laura's going to be looking at this. She now knows what's in store for her. Her father also knows that she knows, what's really been going down. And she sees this picture, and there's an angel, and she's looking at it, and this angel kind of disappears. David says, Angelo, she's gone already, but there's going to be an angel. It's going to be just on top of her, and just, during all of this, and there's going to be tears coming out of her eyes, and even with a smile, and it's got to be, as she's crying, I want everyone who sees it to just cry with her and feel for her, because they love her so much and knows that what she's gone through and all of that. And it's got to be just so beautiful. That's what was my instructions. Sat at the piano, and would you like me to play that for you?